Coming to you every week from no place in particular. It's the best, worst thing you've never seen. This is the Forever Road Podcast featuring Bosco. Find us on some great platforms like iHeart, Spotify, and even more as we keep growing. Now, pointed down that forever road, he's a music lover, a historian, and a connoisseur of the obscure. It's Bosco, here on the Forever Road Podcast.
There we go. Welcome in, everybody. Brothers and sisters, I hope y'all are having a great evening. It's been a long day. I just got done working, and then I went to the gym, and it was back night, technically. But, and that's usually Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I skipped out on Monday because I had something going on, and then I'm not going to go out of my routine. So Wednesday, and then so Friday, I don't know what I have to do Friday. But anyway, we're here. I know I missed last Sunday. I didn't have time to finish up. I know I recorded an hour. What was it, Tuesday? Was it last night? No, it was Monday night. And I just got in here and talked to everybody and all the things. And who is in our chat? There's Marine's Blood. It has been a long day. Yes, sir. Welcome in. But I hope everybody had a good day, and I hope everything wherever you're at is warming up down here. And it stinks and it sucks. The AC is still out at the house. I'm waiting to hear from a guy who's supposed to come look at it. Who came to look at it, told me that I needed a new compressor. So yeah, something else I got to fix before I sell the house. It always happens like that, doesn't it? But it's okay. It's okay. We'll get through it because that's what we do. Also, I wanted to bring this up, and it was brought to my attention. I don't know how I missed it, but June is actually Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. If I'm not mistaken, and Marine's Blood, since you're in the chats, if you can correct me if I'm not mistaken. I didn't really plan on Mental Health Month. Am I correct? He hasn't responded yet. Anyway, but for you listeners out there, y'all don't forget to go on to YouTube and click like and subscribe. Go on to Spotify, click follow, go into your settings, click automatic download, auto download, however it's worded. And give us a follow. Like and share this video as well. Let me know in any comments or any email, foreverroadpodcast@gmail.com. Any topic y'all want me to cover. Anybody out there that in the obscure music and automotive scene that y'all would like to learn about or hear about, I'll cover it. But yes, it is going on. Let's see. June is Men's Health Month. A time to break the silence around men's mental health and learn how to support, speak up, and fight the stigma in your community. In the United States, June is Men's Mental Health, an annual event that has been celebrated since 1992. Men's Health Month is dedicated to raising awareness and concerns that affect the well-being and health care of men and boys. Let's see. I'm going to read this little article, if y'all don't mind. Where'd I leave off at? Men and boys. Sometimes life gets hectic and people put their healthcare needs aside. This can have serious consequences. Below all right, we'll go through it. Below, we'll look at some ways that you can care for your physical and mental health and celebrating the National Men's Health Month. We got to go through a whole list. Excuse me. Men are often less likely to go to the doctor for their mental and physical health, and the pandemic may have further compounded the issue in recent years. One survey found that less than 50% of men hadn't gone to the doctor for an annual physical exam or wellness visit in the last 12 months. Dental and eye care also less common in men. 2022 survey, so 71% of men hadn't had a routine eye exam in the past 12 months. 2022, yes, I did. That's the last time I got glasses. I'm about to do for them now. 63% hadn't had a dental exam. We ain't gonna talk about that. I know I did, and it's not healthy. So I haven't seen it around, so likely kind of around. I wasn't gonna talk about that, but yeah, you're right. Let's see. By the way, nice. Okay. And we'll probably see Brother Turtle in the chat. I hope. I did message him and tell him we were going live. Well, I'm going live. I say we. And because I don't have a producer or anybody else, it's just me. I don't edit or anything like that. What you see is what you get, or what you hear is what you get for our listeners. And I thank you. I got some more stuff I got to zip over to Spotify, so it'll be in the next day or two. Update on Brother Turtle. Let's see. He said, as far as he has one surgery tomorrow, but nothing serious. Got about 6 more weeks till they remove some pins and all that from his hips so he can start walking again. Oh, nice. Okay. I can't pull any pictures over, and I don't want to do that for him. That's up to him if he wishes to do so, or if it's on a whole different computer that's tied to my phone that I can chat through. But anyway, so hey, Brother Turtle. But yeah, so where was I? But yeah, man, I mean, mental health support, whatever you get into something positive. A lot of us suffer from PTSD, former law enforcement, former and current law enforcement guys and military guys, and first responder. Of course, I'm pretty confident that a lot of the listeners, a lot of brothers and sisters out there, y'all know first responders. Y'all know people work in hospitals. Everybody has a PTSD for whatever reason. I'm not taking away from anybody else, but just men for this topic. I know this is usually nothing we cover on our podcast, but I know it's something very important. It is a struggle every day for most of us to get up and go. It is a struggle for us to go to work, to socialize rather. It is a struggle and a serious thing for us to open up to each other a lot of the times. But if you can find that person, now I'm a Christian, I pray a lot. I pray for my people that are listening. I pray for my ex-wife. I pray for Brother Turtle. I pray for everybody. And I'm not afraid to say that. I'm very glad that, yes. Yeah. And in this case, like Brother Turtle is in the chat, I'll post it right here. PTSD sucks, but my peace is knowing I'm still needed where I'm at. Absolutely. So yes, it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, Men's Health Awareness Month. You know, I was up in weight. Y'all could probably know that. Apparently, I know that the people that see me all the time know that I was up. I was up around 275, 280, and I'm down to 260. My goal is 230. And I'm not bragging or anything like that, but I'm grateful. I put into work to drop that weight, and I'm going even further. So that's part of the health. You know, if you're putting junk in your body, you're going to feel like junk, right? So a lot of the mental awareness, and not to sound like I'm preaching or anything like that, I just know from my experience, you put junk in your body, you're going to feel like junk. If you're going to do stupid things, your body's going to be stupid. But as far as a mental awareness, you know, it's like we carry so much as men. We carry a lot of burdens, a lot of weight, the bills, the kids, the wife, if you're married, the girlfriend, if you got one of those, you know, and even caring about your exes or whatever the situations are. You know, we do carry a lot that nobody really talks about. Hey, I'm not saying that the junk ain't good to your stomach. It ain't good. I'm not saying that it ain't good to your taste buds. Turtle said, ice cream is junk, but it makes me smile. Absolutely. I mean, in moderation, brother. But for example, one thing that really does help me at the end of the day, and a lot of people knock it, I'm a 45-year-old man, and I don't care saying it. I'm a gamer. There's one or two games that I really stick by. I don't go off on a rabbit hole doing a whole lot of other mess. But, you know, I like playing Call of Duty. I like playing Forza on my Xbox. I love racing games. But and I think I'm way better at driving than I am, you know, a shooter game. But I enjoy it. I get on there with my buddies, like with Turtle and a few other cats, and we get on there, and even if we lose our asses, man, it's not even about that. It's about, you know, we get online and we start, and then we sometimes shoot shit between matches. It's good to have a positive. To me, I think that's positive because you're the camaraderie. You're with your brothers, essentially. You're with your squad, your team, or whatever you call them. So at the end of the day, you get that out. You get that decompressing, you know. And just like this, I look forward to this every week. This right here, I have fun. I'm still having fun. We're 3 seasons. I have not counted the episodes yet. You know, I don't have a huge following. I'm not worried about that. The people who are here are the ones, you know, I'm not saying, you know, the people that won't come, but the people that are here and have been here the whole time, man, thank y'all. Thank y'all for supporting me. Thank y'all for everything, you know. Yeah, but like Turtle said, that release, you know, that release of the day, getting on there with your brothers, and Turtle and I get in philosophical conversations, and we sit there. We're not even playing a match. We're on a waiting screen. So that mental health, you got to talk to somebody, you know. And I'll tell you like this. I'll even put this further out. I know what I just went through, my divorce and all that was very, very hard for me. It was a big, humongous change. And now I've even changed even further because I got to sell my house, man. Either that or buy her out. I don't want to buy her out. The house is too big for me. I know. I think I've said that before. But I did have, you know, Turtle to talk to. I did have, and you got to have that person that or people that won't come back with you in a judgmental way. They're just like, yeah, man, they're positive support. You know, they may want to say something. They have their opinions about something, but they just kind of hold it to themselves. I did the same thing. I just sit there and listen. What you got, bro? You know. So like I said, I know I don't want to get too far into a rabbit hole on that, but I know it's very important, and it just dawned on me on my way home that I wanted to talk about it because, and I'll say this, nothing is too hard to deal with. Anybody out there listening, you got anything on your heart, you need to reach out to me. Find me, Facebook, Instagram, find Turtle. Nothing is how do I say this? Nothing is, don't try to find a permanent solution to a temporary issue. Reach out to me, reach out to Brother Turtle, reach out to somebody. If you go to church, reach out to your pastor. Pastors are very, very extremely well, I know Southern Baptist ministers personally, and I could pick up the phone or reach out to him on Facebook and say, hey man, I really need to talk to you. So you got a positive, you got somebody right here that will listen. If you need anybody out there needs to talk, don't flip your off switch. We're here. I know that brother, even though he's not on here. Yep, definitely. I'm always there. He is right there. We're here to listen. Turtle's probably heard me at my worst, and I'm grateful for that. That's why he's my brother. So, and by the way, another good thing for you to do is, if you can, find some way to exercise. You don't have to necessarily go to a gym. You don't have to necessarily go to the spa. I don't know what people do. I know what I do. I work on or box trucks really now. I work on trucks all day, and after 10 hours, I still went to the gym. That's me. I'm not saying you got to do that. But Brother Derek over at Bad Dog Health and Fitness, he's helping me get back in shape. He's my brother, and he can motivate me as brothers do. Get that physical, that physical exertion, get that exercise is very important for your mental health, and it really does. It seriously, because you could put, whatever weight you can put on that bar, or go walk around a block, or there you go. Got on walks with a heavy book bag 3 miles a day. There you go, right there. I used to, I may be a little judgy, but I'll listen and I'll try to help. I know. But a place I used to work at, the road it was on was a straight shot. It was a straight mile from the shop down to the end of the road, down to the end of it was a busy highway. I would leave, I'd clock out for lunch, immediately walk out of the shop, walk 1 mile down, 1 mile back. I got them here somewhere, some 20-pound dumbbells, and I'd sling them around, do, some kind of motion with them. Really hard to do when I'm sitting down, and do some push-ups, until I get a good sweat or I'm just kind of burned out. And then I get up and go eat some tuna, and, it's all in your diet as well. So everything is connected. Your physical health, your mental health, your diet, your physical health starts right there in the stomach too. So watch what you eat, Anyway, all right, enough of that. Let's go on to I hope everybody's having a great week. It is Wednesday. I love y'all, and that's why I say every once in a while I might get on here and kind of post something really important, really serious and stuff like that. So, and it comes from straight love. It comes from straight heart. It comes from a good place. I promise you. I'm not judging anybody for what they do, what they don't do. I just want to see y'all here with us. One of the best, I played it before on a Stevie Ray Vaughan episode. One of the best messages I've heard was his Stevie Ray Vaughan's live message. And it was a message at the end of the song, or in the middle of the song. He kind of breaks away and talks to the crowd about getting out there and partying and living, a crazy lifestyle and all that. When But he says, I love y'all and I want y'all here because we all need you. So, yeah. No, Dan, I didn't see that. Vice Grip Garage is going to be at Mo Party. I'm looking forward to that too. We have 3 more months, a little over 3 more months till Mo Party. Bowling Green, Kentucky. They're not a sponsor, but I'll go ahead and say it. I'm going to go again. We did cover a little bit. Let's see, Mo Party, Bowling Green, Kentucky, September 12th to the 14th. Beach Bend Raceway. I've actually got time saved up for this. I'm gonna go up there probably on Thursday night, stay Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, come home, and be off Monday, so I can chill out and relax and not have to worry about anything. I think I'll go up there Thursday. Let me do this a little sharing here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's see. Share screen. Nope. Wrong one. Hang on. Let me X that one out. Try this again. So anybody around the Bowling Green, Kentucky area, that'd be really cool. I mean, man, even if you're in a wheelchair, we'll figure it out. I'll take you. Put you like Yoda in a bag on my back. You know what I mean? I'll be strong enough by then from working out at the gym. Throw you in the bag in the back and just tote you around like Yoda. All right. I hope y'all can see that. So, see if I can get smaller here. America's High Performance Mopar event. September 12th through the 14th, 2025, Beach Bend Raceway. There's campgrounds and all that too. This is really phenomenal. I mean, there's going to be drag racing. Here it is right there. Drag racing, autocross, car show, Australian style burnout contest, and more. Even a mullet contest. Where'd it go? Mullet contest is if you got your car you want to show. I mean, my Ram Charger is not going to be ready. So we'll get there. Swap meet, a huge swap meet. I didn't get to walk around through everything, but and they had some stuff that was like people are very proud of it. I think Dan Atkinson said it. You can play Dodge prices, or I think for some reason. Hey man, grow out your mullet. Turtle said I could win the mullet contest. Do it. Do it. But I will be obviously filming some. I'm going to try to record. If I can bring my stuff with me, I'm going to try to record maybe even from the hotel room. I'm going to try to get Cody from Cody Crafted, if he goes this year. A buddy of mine, some other guys from the Kibby and Friends show, Dan Atkinson. I don't know if he's going to really be up there hanging out the whole time or whatever, but I look forward to this. I look forward to it. Last year I had a blast. I got rained on here and there in spots, let's see. I should have I hope to have the house sold by then. But we're going to go. So anybody in the Kentucky or anybody wants to go to Bowling Green, Kentucky, seriously, y'all let me know. All right. So let's get on this. So anybody knows the correlation between, well, I said it in the in the highlights, Hollywood goes to NASCAR. So this is, and it's a weird little story. And I've watched a lot of videos. I've read some on Wikipedia, read some on some other, websites, and listened to some other podcasts. And this guy named Harry Gant, the oldest winning, okay, so we got a stuntman, a Hollywood star, and one of the oldest winners in NASCAR history. Guy by the name of that. Something crawling on my foot. Guy by the name of Harry Gant. Mr. September, Handsome Harry. So everybody knows about Smokey and the Bandit, right? During this whole thing, we're going to start off with Hal Needham. And I did some writing down of some notes. It's all right. So Hal Needham started out, and he started out as a stuntman. To start off this story, we're going to talk about Hal Needham and Burt Reynolds, how they met. So Hal Needham being a stuntman, he was also the stunt double for Burt Reynolds. Actually, Hal Needham attacks right off. Actually, they were both stuntmen. Stuntmen. They were both working in stunts. Now we're talking about I guess in a way it's kind of like Fall Guy, but better. Everything I saw on that Hal Needham was in, or that he did, and all the stunts and stuff, man, I'm talking about. I can remember as a kid, obviously watching Smokey the Bandit, and we're talking about, and if anybody in the chats remembers or anybody listening, we're talking about Smokey and the Bandit. We're talking about Gator, White Lightning. I had the list. Hang on. Where did it go? So Hal Needham, I did have my notes for him. Yeah, Hollywood goes to NASCAR. Hal Needham, stuntman. The first man to test the airbag. First human to test the airbag. If you watch the movie, anybody watched the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the character that Brad Pitt is playing is loosely based off Hal Needham. I haven't watched that movie all the way through, and I need to. I got to figure out how to watch it. I don't know if it's on any of the streaming or whatever streaming service. I haven't really, I watch YouTube a lot, so I hadn't really sat down and watched a movie in a little bit. So he was the first man to test the airbag. He met, what is that? He met Burt Reynolds on the movie set. I'm trying to remember, did I write it down? I thought I did. But Hal Needham goes from stuntman to director. He writes Smokey and the Bandit. If you don't know the history behind Smokey and the Bandit, it breaks down like this. They were filming Gator down in Florida. And this is a true story. So they're down there in Florida, and we covered this on the Bandit, the Burt Reynolds anniversary of his death. I think in our first season. If y'all want to go look back there and listen to it, it's on Spotify, I know. But so they're down there filming Gator, and they always had Coors Banquet. Y'all know I don't show it on the screen, but anyway, my favorite beer, because Bandit the Snowman didn't drive 1,800 miles for us to drink Miller Lite. That's the light beer that I will mention. So they're down there in Florida. They got Coors Banquet, and they notice whenever they go out and film and come back to the hotel, the beer's gone. Found out that the maid was stealing the beer. Well, why are you stealing? Well, they can't get Coors down here because it wasn't that it was illegal like the movie portrays, which is phenomenal. I don't want to take away from the movie. If you haven't seen Smoking the Bandit, what are you doing with your life? That's all I got to say. If you haven't seen Smoking the Bandit seriously, go watch it. It's entertaining as hell. But you'll see the progression, and not the sidetrack, but the progression from Smoking the Bandit, Moonrunners, Smoking the Bandit, the Dukes of Hazzard, right behind it in 78. And then, you had Smoking the Bandit, Gator, White Lightning, Hooper. That's right here. Cannonball Run 1 and 2, Stroker Ace. And that's another movie we're going to maybe cover this month. I don't know. But Stroker Ace was pretty much what we're about to talk about here is what I think what led to the movie Stroker Ace being made. So, oh, nice. And thank you, Dan. If you can step me up for that movie, that'd be great. So they get in and they're, so it wasn't that the Coors, I was trying to figure out where I was at. It wasn't that Coors was illegal here. It was that they just couldn't get it. It was the south and west or east of the Mississippi. It wasn't pasteurized. They couldn't bring it here. And a lot of places weren't licensed to carry it. Up until obviously after the movie. I mean, it had to. So they couldn't get it, the cleaning people kept stealing his beer. So they decided to write a whole movie off of that. Just based off of that. Got to run to Texas and bring back some Coors beer. Okay, well, let's do the thing. So that catapulted Hal Needham from being a stuntman. He did some phenomenal stunts. There, you can go into YouTube and see a bunch of different stunts. And I mean, stunts that you just watch and you're like, good Lord, how did he live through that? And I did. I watched a lot of them last night. It was great. So him and Burt Reynolds actually roommate together, and one version said he'll stay there for a couple years, and another one said he stayed there for 12. Hey, man, you want to come stay with me? Can I come stay with you for like a year or 12? I don't know. But so that ultimately, we're talking Burt Reynolds, one of the biggest stars in Hollywood at that time. Now, we know he had his little ups and downs in some of the dumber movies. I didn't see – there was a couple of them that I just weren't really interested. I wasn't really interested in seeing, so they didn't whatever. But, all respect in the world of Burt Reynolds, he picked and choose. He was able to do that. But Hal Needham and his having that – whatever it took, having the creativity and the mindset that he did, he would start getting interested in NASCAR. So they approached Mr. September. So where was it? I thought I wrote it down. Hang on. So before we get to that, he goes on to break a land speed record. His goal was 731 miles an hour. And I mean, this was a rocket car that had a Sidewinder missile attached to it. I don't know if y'all hear me. First attempt, it failed. I don't remember. I think after mile 2. he ran to the end of the track. That's what it was. The first attempt, they ran all the way to the end of the track, and they didn't get what he wanted. So they moved the entire thing. And I think after the second mile, that's when he kicked off. He clacked off the Sidewinder missile in the back of a car. A jet car. It just, you can go back and look at the pictures. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hang on. Because this was wild, man. Okay. And he had this guy, another stunt man named Stan Barrett, pilot the jet car. There we go. Pilot. That's it. Let's see. Hal Needham. Oh. Let's see. Hal Needham. And he did get a sponsor for this too. Budweiser sponsored it. The Budweiser Rocket is an American three-wheeled land vehicle that resembles the 1970 era Blue Flame land speed record. Let's see. I'll pull up an image of it. A very good picture. I figure they give it a better. Yeah, there's a black and white picture. Yeah, that's about the best I can get, probably. Let's see. Nope. There we are. So there. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me get some water. So yeah, they go to set the land speed record. The goal was 731 miles an hour. After 4 miles, the radar speed was 734. Airspeed was 739, so they broke that record. And this is all before getting into NASCAR. You know, he's a stuntman, but look at that. I mean, like I said, but yeah, somewhere in there is a Sidewinder missile. I don't know who brought it up. I don't know how they got it all put together, but hey, if I know anything about being a mechanic or putting something together, having a crazy idea, believe me, they'll get it done. Speaking of which, so I think y'all saw me one of the videos on Instagram where I went on to the salvage yard with Bubba, pulled a hood off for his Durango because he hit a deer last week. Yeah, he hit a deer last week. Nobody got hurt except for the deer and the hood and his feelings. Ready to support, grill. So we went to salvage yard to help him get a grill, hood to grill, some other things. And I was walking around there and I had an idea. It was like, you know, it'd be perfect because I just happened to look inside this caravan. I said, this would be perfect. I think I told this story the other day. But, you know, what I'm saying is mechanic intuition. I looked at the seat and looked at how the bottom of the seat mount was, and I know how the floor is made on the Ram Charger, and at the time, didn't have bucket seats. And I was like, and if you know anything about salvage yards, if you don't get the parts now and you go back, those parts may be gone. I looked at the price list. I said, $55 a piece. I have a credit card. Yeah, I did tell this story the other day, so I'm repeating it. I'm sorry. I'll do this. So I snatched some 2 seats out of that thing. I got black leather power seats out of a 2010 Caravan for my 84 Ram Charger. Now all I have to do is build a custom console. And so I think it's going to look jam up in there. But anyway, so all right, going back. So the first racing thing, I guess, like I said, he went to break the land speed record, which gave him the idea of getting the NASCAR. using Stan Barrett as a driver. Stan Barrett, like I said, he was a stunt driver. Never did. So he created Mach 1 Racing. Him and Burt Reynolds get together. They create Mach 1 Racing. And initially, Stan Barrett, like I said, was a driver. Whatever happened, Hal went to Charlotte Motor Speedway, and he said he just fit right in with those good old boys because Hal Needham was from Texas. Let's give a brief rundown of Hal Needham. I know I'm kind of bearing down hard on that, I think, because I've done a lot of research on Burt Reynolds previously, but Hal Needham being his best friend, I really didn't cover a whole lot on him, which is kind of crazy. So he was born March 6, 1931. He passed away October 25th, 2013. Born in Memphis, Tennessee. I thought he was in Texas. Son of Edith May and Howard Needham. The youngest of three kids, raised in Arkansas, Missouri. He served in the United States. Where'd he go? Okay. Served in the United States Army as a paratrooper during the Korean War. Worked as a tree topper, which is probably why he got his... and was a billboard model for Viceroy cigarettes. Wow. While beginning a career in Hollywood as a motion picture stuntman. First break was a stunt double for actor Richard Boone in the show Have Gun Will Travel. I don't know if y'all remember that. He trained under John Wayne's stunt double, Chuck Robertson. Quickly became top stuntman of the 60s on How the West Was Won, the bridge of Remagen. Yeah, Remagen. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I have GED, so I apologize. There's Tyler. Happy hump day, brother. We're covering Hal Needham right now. We'll go to Burt Reynolds, and then we'll finish off with Mr. September. Where was it? McClintock, the Warlord, and Little Big Man. He doubled regularly for Clint Walker and Burt Reynolds. There we go. He played a cowboy in an episode of TV Western Gunsmoke. Season 8, episode 36, The Odyssey of Jubal. The Odyssey of Jubal Tanner. Dang, can't talk. The Odyssey of Jubal Tanner. There we are. 71, him and fellow stuntman Glenn Wilder and Ronnie Rondell formed Stunts Unlimited. That sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? Needham had written a screenplay titled Smoking the Bandit with his friend, and his friend Burt Reynolds offered him a chance to direct. The film was a huge hit, obviously. When that movie released, the only one that beat it out was Star Wars that year. That's why we ended up having a Smoking the Bandit 2. It was okay. Smoking the Bandit 3 was just the third part. It was good for what it was. I think if you have a loyalty to that fan base, if you're in that fan base and you have a loyalty to just who the people are in the movies, the characters rather, then it's worth watching. But if you don't really know the history, and I grew up watching all this stuff when I was a kid. Let's see. Stunts Unlimited in 1980. Where was that at? From Burt Reynolds. Okay, so yeah. The film was a huge hit. 2 followed it with Hooper, Smoking the Bandit 2, Cannonball Run, Stroker A, Cannonball Run 2. He directed a TV pilot's He did, yeah. He tried to bring a TV show just for stuntman called Stunt Unlimited in 1980. The Stalkers in 81. So all these movies, if you really want to watch some action and a lot of fun and just kind of reminisce, you kind of go down the old rabbit trail, it's worth it. I say go back and watch them. 3 and later were unnecessary. 3 and later. Oh, Dan X says 3 and later. Where was I? Oh yeah, the Stalkers in 81, neither of which was picked up for as a series. The final theatrical release as a director was 1986 BMX film Rad. I'm not sure if I remember that. I'll look it up. Or did I? Is that the one with the kid in the no, that was a BMX. That was a dirt bike. Laughlin. I don't remember that movie at all. I don't know. I'm lost on it. Maybe one Saturday I'll Smoking the Bandit 3 through 7. Yeah, I understand now. Yeah, they did a lot of iterations of Smoking the Bandit, different characters and different changes and stuff like that. It was really weird. Like Bandit Silver, I remember in the early 90s, Bandit Silver Angel had nothing to do with the bandit himself. And I think they were rocking a Dodge Stealth at the time, all-wheel drive Dodge Stealth. I'd love to have Mike Finnegan on this show at some point. Mike Finnegan, for those of you who don't know, originally from Roadkill. He was a writer for Mini Trucking Magazine. He's a drag racer, speedboat racer. He's got a Finnegan Marine and Speed Marine. So yeah, he moved out of stunt work, focused on injury on World Land Speed Record project, which we just talked about. In the 80s, he and Reynolds co-owned the Mach 1 racing team. This is where we pick up, which fielded Skull Bandit number 33 Pontiac in NASCAR. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something I heard not too long ago, and I know a lot of folks don't understand NASCAR. A lot of people pick on NASCAR, just a bunch of rednecks riding around in a circle. At one point, yes. Nowadays, it's kind of like new country. Look, there it is. It's NASCAR. I don't know I know a few drivers on that in the NASCAR circuit, but I don't follow anybody. Not like everything kind of went from Earnhardt to Junior, and then Junior retired. I'm done. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. So they initially with Stan Barrett as a driver, later replaced by Harry Gant. The team eventually switched to Buicks. Skull Bandit became a championship contender. The closest I think he came to winning the Winston Cup back then was second place, and it was right behind Earnhardt. Sorry, I just had to gloat there. I was a huge Earnhardt fan. You have no idea. I had it. I still have. It's in storage now, but I have a huge Earnhardt collection. And for a Dodge guy, if Richard Petty was still rocking Dodge, or if anybody was still rocking Dodges, that's probably who I'd follow. I know Bill Elliott ran a Dodge for a couple years, a couple seasons. 86, Needham alongside William Frederick was awarded the Scientific and Engineering Award for his efforts in developing the Schottmacher Elite camera car and crane. So that's when you see those cars and they got the boom and all that with the cameras on it, that's what that is. 2001, he received Lifetime Achievement Award from the Taurus World Stunt Awards. In 2012, he was awarded a Governor's Award by the Academy of Motion Picture and Arts and Sciences, where he was introduced by Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino was a huge fan of Hal Needham. Needham and his relationship with Reynolds inspired the Cliff Booth, and Rick Dalton friendship in Tarantino's 2019 film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He was the owner of the Budweiser rocket car. I think he died shortly after. Yeah, he died October 25th, 2013, L.A., age 82, shortly after being diagnosed with cancer. He wrote a few books: Stuntman, My Car Crashing, Plane Jumping, Bone Breaking, Death Defying Hollywood Life. So yeah, y'all go check that stuff out. The Fiend Who Walked the West, Shootout at Big Sag, McClintock, Advance to the Rear. I've never heard any of that. The Devil's Brigade, I've heard of that. These are movies now, so we ain't gotta go down all that. Yeah. Oh, he did direct The Longest Yard, the original 74 version, with Burt Reynolds in it. So The Longest Yard, Gator, Smoking the Bandit, The Villain, Death Car on the Freeway. That sounds like something that should be remade. Death Car on the Freeway. All right. That's Hal Needham. Let's see. I'm going back to. So now Stan Barrett's out of the car. Harry Gant's in the car. Harry Gant, believe it or not, he began his racing career. He was 39 years old. So you tell me when somebody's, so you're never too old to learn new tricks. You know what I mean? He started his NASCAR full ride racing career at 39. He's still alive. He's 85 years old. He was born in Taylorsville, North Carolina, June 10th, 1940. Or January 10th, sorry. What did I say, June? Driving for the number 33 Skull Bandit car, the oldest winner in Winston Cup history. He was called Handsome Harry by Hal Needham. Mr. September. His father was in the Navy, so he was raised by his grandmother in North Carolina. He had a very, very, very humble upbringing. He was very laid back. And I don't know if y'all really ever really heard a genuine North Carolina accent. It sounds a little bit more country fried than I do, I think. But let's see. Sometimes when I write, I can't read what I write. It looks like chicken scratch. I don't know if y'all can really see that or not. So we'll just go here. Harold Phil Gant holds the record for the oldest driver to win a Cup Series race. At age 52 was his last. He was known for many nicknames. Like I said, I went down the list: Handsome Harry, the Bandit, High Groove Harry, Hard Luck Harry, Mr. September for his 1991 winning streak. He was the 1985 IROC champion, 1984, 91 Southern 500 winner, 1991 Winston 500 winner, 91 National Motorsports Press Association Driver of the Year, named one of NASCAR's 50th greatest drivers in 1998. National Motorsports Press Association Hall of Fame in 2003. International Motorsports Hall of Fame inductee 2006. Named one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers in 2023 and entered the NASCAR Hall of Fame next year. So he did next year. Past tense, tomorrow. So, Harry Gant gained a lot of nicknames throughout his racing career. Early on, Sug, S-U-G Thompson, announcer at New Asheville Speedway, nicknamed him the Taylorsville Flash. Later known as Handsome Harry Gant, and this is what it was. So, when they get him in the car, and by the way, I'll get to another fun fact here in a second. Hal Needham put him in the car, and he would run his race, and the cameras, they'd come over and talk to Hal, this, that, and the other, and they said, "Well, where's your driver?" "Oh, he's hanging out in the camper." He didn't get in front of the camera. He didn't want to, not really. But Hal walked over there and was like, "Listen, man, you need to get out here in front of the camera, talk to these folks, because you're doing pretty good. Get out here in front of the camera, talk to people, and wear the Skull Bandit hat." And that's when he started calling him Harry, Handsome Harry. He called him High Groove Harry because he would ride that high line up high line. He often looked through the corner. He took through the corner, sorry. Numerous second place finishes in the beginning of his career, later numerous mechanical failure and crashes not of his own doing, while leading or running well with Mach 1 racing. So prior to Winston Cup, he began his dirt track. He began at the dirt tracks at Hickory, at the old track in Hickory, North Carolina. Built a hobby class car with his friends. Now, when he was growing up, this was right after World War II, so he was growing up. All the guys were coming back from the war, and military guys, you have nothing else better to do but fix up these old cars that have been sitting around. They halted production of cars back then and stopped for the war. So all these old cars are sitting around. The soldiers came back, and they'd fix up these cars and then race them through town, And he knew then he wanted to get into racing. So before he could even get his license, he knew, like I said, he knew he'd get into racing. Before he even get his license, him and a group of his buddies band together and bought a race car. And that's when they started running dirt tracks. Gant excelled on the asphalt and won his first races in the sportsman division in '67 after Ned Jarrett became the promoter. Ned Jarrett. And I think that's Dale Jarrett's dad. Dale Jarrett. Let's see, Ned Jarrett, which he was a legend too. Oh, he's still alive. Ned Jarrett. If y'all know, ever heard listen to anything in the 90s as far as NASCAR goes, it was, you hear Ned Jarrett on there talking. Ned Jarrett's 92 years old now. He's about to be 93 in October. Look at that. Wow. I didn't realize he was still alive. That's pretty cool. All right, get out of the Ned Jarrett screen. I had to look that up. That was cool. Harry Gant was also a carpenter. He liked to build houses. He liked to say, "I'm a carpenter, but I race." Or his hobby was racing. He still built houses. Even after he left out, when he retired in the 90s, he still worked. I think he ended up working for U.S. Tobacco, which is Skoal in Copenhagen. He won over 300 races with car builder and crew chief Kenneth Sigmund in the NASCAR Sportsman, on his way to winning 3 national championships in 72, 73, and 74. He finished second 3 times in the NASCAR late model sportsman division. Hold on. 300 races. Yeah, this is all prior to Winston Cup. Okay. 69, 76, and 77, he finished in the top 10 in the final point standings several other years. Sold half of his construction business in 79 upon deciding to race full-time in the Winston Cup. Now, he's 39 years old. He gets into NASCAR officially with a field full of young rookie drivers. Earnhardt, Kyle Petty. Who was it? Earnhardt was in it. Kyle Petty. If you ever watched the movie Stroker Ace, actually they're actually in that movie as well. Earnhardt, Kyle Petty, a couple other guys that were, rookie class of 79. Gant made his first start in 73, Charlotte Motor Speedway, finishing 11th. So this is going on to his Winston Cup career. He made 6 starts over the next 4 years, had 2 top 10 finishes. Good Lord, let me get some more water. Thank y'all for bearing with me. Those of you still watching. Yeah, it looks like it. I know it ran a little late today. He competed for the Rookie of the Year honor against Dale Earnhardt. Terry Labonte, that's who the other guy was. He finished 4th in overall rookie battle in the number 47 Race Hill Farm car. Now, I think the Race Hill Farm car was painted red. Race Hill Farm, let's see. For Jack Beebe. He split the next season between the number 47 and number 75, Romock Enterprises. All right. Now, after starting out in the 81 season, driving for various teams, he moved to the number 33 Skull Bandit Pontiac, which is owned, like we said, Hal Needham, Burt Reynolds, and Leo Jackson. Leo Jackson after 88. Debuted with the team, placing 2nd in Darlington. That's a good spot, especially Darlington. Followed by 5 more second-place finishes and 3 poles. Ending the season in third in points, he stayed with the team for the rest of his career. Now there's an Earnhardt tie, another Earnhardt tie. But I'll get to that here in a minute. Gant finished 2nd 10 times for winning his first Winston Cup race, Martinsville, in 82. Finished 4th in final point standings in 83. Only won 1 race, the Trans-South 400, and collected 5 top 5s, 16 top 10s, en route to the 7th and final points standings in 84. In 84, Harry he knocks 3 poles, 15 top 5s, 23 top 10s, and 1 at Pocono and Martinsville in the fall. He ended up finishing 2nd to eventual Winston Cup champion Terry Labonte in 85. No, in 85, so was Terry Labonte that he finished second to, not Earnhardt. 85, he won Martinsville in the spring, Dover, North Wilkesboro, which I think North Wilkesboro has been remade and they reopened it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, yep, it did. It did. Dan X says Skull Bandit car had a cameo in Days of Thunder, or as we like to call it, Top Gun on Wheels. Thanks to our buddy Rob Kibbe. Rob Kibbe over at the Kibbe and Friends show. If y'all like a lot of Dukes of Hazzard stuff and information and history and the culture all behind that, go check out the Kibbe and Friends show. I'm a huge supporter of them and they're friends of mine. So, I ain't got like their cell phone number or anything like that, but yeah, they're my buddies. Except for I do have Bernie's phone number. But anyway, he finished third in the championship standings. Where's that? 259 points behind eventual champion Darrell Waltrip. See, we're dropping some some legendary names here. Darrell Waltrip, Terry Labonte, Earnhardt. Gant went winless for 3 years from 86 to 88, and in 89 he broke the 3-year winless streak, winning at Darlington in the spring, which caused a veteran driver to exclaim, "The Bandit is back" in victory lane. He did not win again at 89, but finished 7th in the final point standings. Mr. September, the 90s and Mr. September streak. Harry Gant entered the decade to win at Pocono, the spring of 90, finished 17th final point standings. He won the 91 Winston 500, which I mentioned that a minute ago. Rick Mass drafted behind Gant to give him a push in the last lap. But led off in the final laps to preserve the victory. He earned the name. He won 4 consecutive races in September. This is where Mr. September comes from. Darlington, Richmond, Dover, and Martinsville. And the 2 Busch races, Richmond and Dover, at age 51 years old. Here's the Earnhardt tie-in. His crew chief was Andy Petrie. The 4 consecutive Cup victories tied the modern era record set in 72, dominating the next race at North Wilkesboro Speedway. He had his brakes fail, ending his hopes of 5 consecutive victories. He scored 5 victories in 91, also notching 15 top 5s. We ain't gotta go through all that. But yeah, we're talking about, dude, this man's he was just a beast of a driver. Matter of fact, on his 4th win in that September, he didn't cause the wreck, but he got tangled up in the wreck, and they thought he would, well, that's it. That's your winning streak. 4th is down. But they were already, by that time, calling him Mr. September at the end of his 3rd win. Good Lord. And they, the crew come out there and they beat and they cut and they, and then he ended up coming back fully to win that 4th, that last race. He holds the record as the oldest driver ever to win a Cup Series at age 52 and 19 days old. The oldest driver to ever collect his first career Cup victory at 42. So we're talking about a 10-year gap, and 105 days old. Second oldest driver to win NASCAR's second level circuit, now known as Xfinity, with Dick Trickle being the first. his career, he has collected 18 Cup wins, one runner-up finish in 84, a third in 81 and 85, 21 Busch Series wins, 3 runner-up finishes in both series championships, which is what we talked about earlier. Something that got a hold of me. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm struggling. He won 4 races in a row, 91. Kind of repeats itself, doesn't it? So here are the movie appearances, and I'll get to some fun little facts here in a second. Gant appeared in the 1983 movie Stroker Ace. Also gave him a short interview in the film Days of Thunder. It was mentioned for spinning out in the Daytona 500 late in the movie, although it was actually the number 26 of Brett Bodine. He also appeared, this is cool. He also appeared in the movie Cannonball Run 2 as a henchman for a mob henchman. His line in the film was, "Better not let the boss hear you say that." So he was, and I've watched the, y'all can go back and check the Earnhardt Dale Jr. download, sorry. And hear him talk about his career, his life, how he was really brought up from him. And it was really cool. It's very intriguing. This man's to be so humble and laid back and all that, and for him just to have that work ethic, and he knew what he wanted to do in life. And that's what, like I said, that's what we're all about here on Forever Road Podcast is you got that work ethic, and no matter, how you came up, very humble beginnings, he's still a humble man. I didn't see, but I'm going to try to figure out this question. I didn't catch it the other day when I listened to the Dale Jr. download. Because the number 33 wasn't on the Skull Bandit car to begin with. I think it was let's see. He chose the number 33 on his car because it was the car he drove in the 85 Talladega race. Yeah, okay. So, yes, thank you, Deadleg. Thank you. And y'all please hit that like button. So Harry Gant chose the number 33 car. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. He also, and I'll just leave it here because I know we're going a little over. He also was the first car, because of the backing from Hal and Burt Reynolds, they had enough money to have the first car in NASCAR history to run telematics. Harry would go on to say that computer was a big Hewlett-Packard deal over in the would be the passenger side of the car. He said, I think it weighed like 75 pounds or something like that. Remember the computers back in the 80s? They were huge, right? So the telematics was the first car in NASCAR to run telematics. That means live data while they're ripping around the track. Tire pressure, temperature, oil pressure, all the things. Speed, everything. And they go back and look and see what they need to be changed. NASCAR didn't like it. They said, take that out of the car, don't run it. I mean, I think in a way it kind of gave them a leg up. Well, it did give them a huge leg up on what they needed to change, so they better be prepared. But the downside, not all tracks are created equal. And you never know from temperature. It could be on September of, or let's say June of this year, come around the next year, the temperature is different. It could be warmer next year. It could be colder next year. can't really stick by that. But, not just off a straight analog, we'll make our adjustments. So they were the first. Hal Needham was known to test the first airbag. Well, I tell you what, that'd be terrifying. I mean, look, we're gonna put these airbags in this car, and the airbag is supposed to go off when you hit that wall down there. Okay, so whenever you get down there and you hit that wall, you tell us how everything went. All right. Buddy had enough sense after that to come up with this. So he had the financial backing to put the. Another thing was that they said that Harry was rough on cars. Before he really got into Winston Cup, he would go, I think his first Winston Cup outing, they put him in a car, and I think it was Busch, really. I think it was a Busch series. They put him in the car, and they told him to go round, and it wasn't built to go above a certain RPM, but he did it. And so, man, when you shake a car down, you shake it down, don't you? But yeah, he was bound and determined. Still winning at 52 years old. He decided to bow out. I think his last race was that he ran half of it, had a standby driver, and that driver got in the car for him and finished out the race. He turned and waved to the crowd and walked off into the sunset, So y'all go check those other stories out. It's all over YouTube and all over the internet. I'm not saying I claimed anything. I just want to get on here and talk about it because I thought it was pretty cool. Y'all, please don't forget that this month is very important. If y'all need anybody, you've got to reach out to me. Most of y'all know me on Facebook, Forever Road Podcast on Facebook. Find me, Bosco Autry, on Facebook as well. Instagram, Forever Road Podcast. Email me, foreverroadpodcast@gmail.com. If you need somebody to really talk to. Speaking of that, I've talked with Dead Leg about some serious things. He's in the chats tonight. Thank you, Dead Leg. Y'all don't forget to click that like button. Share this video. I'm working on trying to branch us over to Rumble. And there's another app that I discovered called Weem. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I ain't felt it out quite yet, but it looks pretty cool. So I did a little short video on there yesterday for that. But I'm trying. I'm doing all this by myself, so I'm doing the best I can. Speaking of which, we'll cover our as we know, along with the mental health, of course. Y'all know what is very near and dear to us is OperationTackleBox.org. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization that helps our military veterans, healing through reeling, combat veterans helping combat veterans. I can almost do that without even looking at the screen. Yep, they're still showing they gave their UTV away. Let's see, pull it up right there. That one. Nope, that one. Okay. Whew. I need a producer. I can't hire anybody. I'm doing this for free. I need a producer. I can pay you the same thing I get paid. But yeah, Operation Tackle Box, 501c3 nonprofit organization. Whatever they can do, they will do for the veterans, whether it be the VA claims. There it is right there. Family owner operated team. We focus full time on planning out fishing expeditions for our veterans. We have full plans, helping veterans get what they need. GI Bill, VA claims, absolutely anything and everything we can do, we will do. There's a lot of reasons. There we go right there. Men's mental health. Go fishing. That's another good one. I know we talked about 15, 20 minutes earlier at the beginning of this episode about men's mental health. There it is right there. This man right here with the beard has helped Brother Turtle. I took him out. It's based out of Sonora, Georgia, which is just this side of Newton. You can look it up. It's on the map. Any of our veterans who are listening, y'all can reach out to them, get help. Fishing is very therapeutic. He said, as a combat veteran, I too suffer from PTSD, and fishing and being on the water helped me more than anything else. I want to share that feeling with other veterans in need. Being on the water to me is a time where I'm not looking over my shoulder or worried about what's happening around me. The calm of the water and the distance between me and land, there is truly nothing like it. Our mission is to help our veterans heal through fishing and help them get on track with the benefits they're entitled to. Taking veterans on camping trips, fishing tournaments, fishing expos, and anything else we can provide to help our warriors. There is a button on here that says donate now. You can go on there and there's Miss Foxy. Hey, Brittany, how you doing? Oh, me even calling you by your real name. That's just weird. I call her Foxy. Walk around and find out. But if y'all don't want to even go buy anything from them, you can go in there and click donate and just send them something. They were the first person when Brother Turtle got hurt. He was the first person I called. When I got there to that hospital room and saw in the condition Turtle was in, it was shocking. It was a little, but I turned around, I let his wife have her minute. I stepped out of the room. I said a little prayer. I stepped out of the room. I immediately called Operation Tackle Box and let him know, hey, Turtle's been in a wreck. He's been injured. He's here. So they got back in touch with each other, I think, through that whole process and all the surgeries and things like that. But y'all go check them out, please. Like I said, it's 501c3 nonprofit. You can click shop now, which I'll bounce over to that. I really like showing off their stuff that they have. I'll try this again. Share screen. This one? Nope. That one? Nope. That one? Yes. Operation Tackle Box, apparel and accessories. We're family owner operated. There it is. You can read it right there on the screen. There's new design drops. They got new shirts out. Long sleeve, short sleeve, 3/4 sleeve, hoodies. Been there, destroyed that. I actually want that hoodie. I think I won't buy it. I'll have to wait till. There's hats, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, full camo zip up. It looks like a full zip up. Stuff for ladies. Stuff for foxies. So if y'all actually, you can go on here and browse around yourself. And even if you don't want a shirt or a hat or, a cool shirt or a cool, hoodie, rather, y'all can go, y'all can go check that out. Yeah. Nope. When I went to the gym tonight, I did 38. I got on the stair machine, and y'all go check him out too. Bad Dog Health and Fitness. Y'all seen me tag them a few times on Facebook. I'm sure you did. Can y'all see me? Am I there? Am I still here? Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you. Can y'all hear me? Sweet. But yeah, Bad Dog, Derek over there, like I said, his brother, so he had me on the stair machine, and I did 38 flights of stairs in 15 minutes. And I hated that machine at first, man. But when I got off of it, I found myself the next day, which wasn't the day for me to go to the gym, Tuesday. I found myself, kind of looking forward to it. Kind of weird. But Wednesday, I'm standing in front of it today, after working 10 hours at the shop, standing in front of it, and I'm like, all right, let's get this over with. So I did a pretty good workout. It was back days, and I can honestly feel it in my shoulders a little bit more. But the goal, like I said, is every day is leg day. Yeah. And I was up and down off a ladder today too. I had top of a truck stuff I had to work on. But anyway, that's all I got. I'll see y'all Sunday. I am working on some ideas. Let me look at something real quick. I think somebody's birthday is coming up that I've been kind of looking forward to. Let's see. I really would love to get into this. Because y'all know how I do. I do yep. Let's see. What's the calendar? What day is that? I don't want to speak too soon. Turtle sent me a picture. I wish I could pull it up here. He sent me a picture of his view, his big screen TV in front of the bed, and that's all you see is what y'all see here. So huge. I think it's pretty. I'm on TV. No, calendar, not calculator. Like I said, man, I'm a GED student. 15th. Ooh. I'm supposed to go out of town the 14th and the 15th. That's Father's Day weekend, isn't it? Yep, that's what I thought. So I might have to do that one a week early. Actually, to be honest with you, I never even made it to high school, dude. I quit after the 8th grade. I quit after the 8th grade when I got my GED a few years later. I drug my feet, I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, I was just like, I'm done, dude. I went to work. But I did get my GED, though. It's very important. It's very important. But, y'all, again, I'll say it again, Men's Mental Health Month. Like I said, y'all reach out to me if you need me. I'm about to get off here and then go play some video games. I don't have to be at work till 12 o'clock tomorrow. So I'm going to go and have fun for a little while. I hope y'all have a great night or what's left of it. We will see y'all Sunday. Probably covering Waylon Jennings because I'm going to be out of town following the Father's Day weekend. Yeah. So I'm going to cover Waylon Jennings a week ahead of his birthday. His birthday is the 15th. So I've been looking forward to that. I know a lot about Waylon Jennings. If you love this man, to me, I think, is the original outlaw. He also was he did all the balladeer for the Dukes of Hazzard TV shows and the movie Moonrunners, which is probably a movie I want to cover. I think I'll cover that at the end of this month. So we'll have Moonrunners for the monthly movie review, if I can find it somewhere. We'll do Waylon Jennings this weekend. And then for the monthly movie review at the end of the month, we'll do the movie Moonrunners, and that'll wrap up, a lot. I'm excited. let's do this thing. Thank y'all once again. Click like and subscribe. Go on Spotify, hit follow. Go on the auto download. Click auto downloads. Share this video out to your friends and loved ones, and people that you don't like, or maybe some random folks on the street. You know, I hope y'all have a great rest of the week. Thank you, Dan. Tyler, Marine's Blood was in here earlier. Brother Turtle was in here, but he had to go to sleep. Foxy. I'll probably see Tyler, Marine's Blood, and Foxy Friday in the chats. I hope y'all have a great week. I love y'all. Uh-oh. Hang on. Peace.
Thanks for riding with us on the FRP, the Forever Road Podcast, with Bosco. You can find and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, or drop us a line or question anytime at foreverroadpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time right here on the Forever Road Podcast.